The thing about philosophy is that it's such an amazing topic. You can ask a simple question, well, not a simple question, but like the question, do we have free will? And this question doesn't only bring up the aspect of faith, as in fate, which is the opposite of it, but you've got fate that was given to you by God, or you also have the free will that God has also given you. But not to forget, you also this free will that you have is also something that is given to you only in a certain sense, and you can only use it to a certain extent as well in society.
No, yeah, absolutely. It's a very good point because the church hates the idea of when science even just jokes about the idea of there being alternate universes. So for example, there's a universe where you wore blue shoes, and equally a universe where you wore red shoes, right? So the
Yeah, and there's a
idea,
universe where we're both millionaires and get fucked off at each other whilst when you're just speaking.
well, exactly,
It's
yeah, exactly,
and the church just says there's only one universe, there's only one world, and there is nothing besides our galaxy. But science is still sitting there going, "You fucking twats," as if an almighty being only created one civilization for this whole vast universe that we have.
yeah. I know. It's. Do you know what though? If you look at the Old Testament, it's evident that what the book is trying to do is trying to explain why we're here. I mean, it's easy to forget, but I like to remind myself that even though thousands and thousands of years ago, they were still relatively the same intelligence humans as we are now. And imagine being walking around this landscape, not knowing where you came from, where did it all come from, sort of thing. The Bible and other books just try and explain that. They talk about Adam and Eve. They talk about God created the world in 6 days. They talk about when the rapture comes, the stars will fall out the sky, and we're at the center of the universe, and apparently the universe.
Here's a fun fact for you.
Yeah, go on.
Ark of Noah. You've definitely heard it because you went to a Catholic school, I assume, as well.
Oh, yep. Two Catholic schools.
Yeah. It's two. Fucking hell! I only went to one, thankfully, but
primary and secondary school.
It was nice. Only primary for me, but it was nice. I must say, everyone to the fact of the. I'm not saying that Catholic churches are bad. Catholic schools are bad. What I thought was nice is that they all had uniforms, so there was no difference between rich and poor, and all that sort of stuff, which is nice when they then say everyone in the eyes of God is the same and will be judged by their actions, which is a nice thought.
It is.
But society doesn't work that way.
No, yeah, it's. Do you know what? Look, religion. Look, if you actually take away the faith part, it sounds appealing. I'd love the idea that I could confidently tell my children, if I have children, that if they do good, they'll be rewarded in the afterlife. I know it sounds doom and gloom, but that's not the case. We are born and we die, and yeah, it is a depressing concept. Once you get over that, I think you actually start to value life more, because you look at these religious
philosophy.
Yeah, because you look at these religious people, and they spend their lives praying and sobbing and praying, and they eat a peanut and go, "Oh, it's a sin," and pray some more. And it's like, are you happy? They go, "Yes, I am happy because I know I'll be rewarded after I die." It's like, but we live our life now. We know. I mean, and it's not like we don't appreciate life. Atheists don't appreciate life. We don't see the wonderment of it. We know there's a billion chance for us to be the one sperm that got to the egg and is born, and we haven't been killed off by cancer or diseases or AIDS or whatever. We are very lucky to be here. There's people dying all the fucking time. We're lucky to be alive, lucky to have the opportunity to be alive in the first place, the opportunity to be conceived in the first place. So we know that scientifically, we know that because of statistics and stuff. And this is another misconception I was trying to hit on earlier. it's a common misconception that religion is accountable for ethics. I completely disagree with that. I don't need a big man in the sky to fear me to know that murder's wrong.
Stop masturbating!
Yeah, exactly. Well,
That's the sort of
yeah,
thing.
it's
So
what
it
I
makes
mean.
no fucking sense.
Yeah, I know. Like,
if God intended you to not masturbate, he would have put it on that part of your back where you can't get to for scratching.
yeah, exactly. You put it. Yeah, exactly. That's a very good point. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was actually from Mike Harding, a comedian.
But yeah, so there would be some form of lock and key scenario where you need one for the other. But you know, exactly. He shouldn't have given us. Yeah, if he didn't give us opposable thumbs, right, we wouldn't have been able to have such leaps in science, and we wouldn't be able to masturbate. So I think God, the thumb was a bad idea. But you know what I mean? But
yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah, but and it's also this and the idea that we are created in God's image. Now, that's to suggest we've been designed perfectly, which we're not. We die, we have back problems, we have God knows what's wrong with us. If we were built perfectly, we'd never die. Now, obviously, a religious person would go, in God's infinite wisdom, he built us with flaws. Well, we didn't build Adam and Eve with flaws. They were supposed to be the perfect beings, weren't they?
Yeah, they were then tempted by Lucifer.
Yeah, the talking snake. I mean, personally, I think the talking snake was a bad idea, but you know, God's wisdom, you know, and all that. Apparently,
yeah, but some people see that's actually Lucifer trying to show that if you read the texts and if I did a fucking metric fuck ton of watching of Supernatural and Lucifer also. Amazing series. Please, guys, watch it if you can. Basically, that the talking snake, is actually Lucifer, and he tried to show God that these perfect beings that he created aren't perfect because they still give in to
temptation.
They give in to these primal instincts that everyone has.
Yeah.
I mean, as if you've not gotten home drunk and you, I don't know, just as an example, you get home drunk, your girlfriend is asleep or whatever, and you turn into a fuck machine. There's no other way of putting it. It's like your body just goes, oh, I'm gonna fuck anything that comes past me. And it's just your body reacts in such a way that even if it's not happening, you still start fucking humping. It's instincts will always be there, and the thing that the church doesn't like there are these primal instincts, but also the church doesn't like the concept of ideas.
Yeah.
Because if you just question everything down to but why,
yeah,
the church will not be able to give you an answer.
They can't give
I'm
you
sure
an
the
answer.
Pope would be able to give you something, and you'd be there and be satisfied with the answer. But first of all, try getting a fucking audience with the Pope. Second of all, try talking to him alone if you don't get one. It's just a fucking nightmare.
Well, yeah.
It's also the thing of but you have the thing of the flood that is put in the Bible with Noah's Ark and everything. But Chinese history dates back to that time where everything was flourishing, which contradictions then. But the Bible itself is only built on a mass amount of different scripts from England, from what is England now, from King Henry, who got all these scripts and told his writers to roughly gist something that sounds good and then give it to them. So everyone actually had a different way of perceiving who God is, but in the end, all it is it's an accumulation of what other people have seen and heard, and they threw it into one book and said, well, that's a belief system now.
It is, yeah, I know. It's the Bible, Old Testament is just throwing all these old stories together and go, here's the finished product, and this is what we got to follow now. Cool.
There's a little side note about the thousands of gods whilst also going through your list. I myself am a Buddhist. I see myself as a Buddhist, and Buddha is a human who received enlightenment.
He's a fat guy, isn't he?
He was a fat guy that smiles with an orb in his hand going, but he was. Oh my God! If you were to strip down,
is he Santa Claus?
What do religions? No, he's not.
Oh, okay.
He might be bald, but he doesn't have a beard.
Okay.
But if you strip down what every religion is. You don't categorize between Judaism and Islam and Hindu and the Japanese way of believing. I'm sorry, but I do not know the name. Please insult me about that, but whatever. But what is a question to you? What do all religions want to fundamentally teach?
They want to teach that you are under a overruling, powerful God.
No.
Oh, no? Okay.
No, the fundamental rule or the fundamental teaching of religions is peace. You read it the whole time about peace on earth when Jesus comes, or peace on earth in Islam, and that everyone should be able to live peacefully over all the corners of the world, even though it's round.
I agree with that, but peace only for the people that believe in that religion. For example, if you look at history of a lot of religions, Muslim and Christianity, it's peace for the people who believe in the religion. The people that don't believe in the religion get the sword. And you can see that in its past. So it's religion. It's a religion of peace for the people who believe in that religion. If you don't believe in the religion, you're not respected, and you will get the sword. That was the time then, anyway. But anyway,
yeah, and that's the problem that you have. If you were not to say that it's a religion, but you say it's a group. You've got, let's say, Group A for atheism, Group C for Christianity, Group J for Judaism, Group I for Islam, and so forth.
Yeah.
And you won't, and basically every single group would sit there and say, hey, we want to get together. We like having, I don't know, we like meeting for once a week on our Sundays mostly, or whenever, and we do this. Or another group says, hey, we like meeting up about 5 times a day. We're basically all in our quiet corners of work and stuff, and we pray. And we do this, and this. Here's a pamphlet, as if you like to go to community college. You'd sit there and go, oh, that's cool, and no fucker would choose it.
Yeah.
Because everyone would be sitting there going, I've got fucking more to do with my time than that. And yeah, well, it is, if you think about it. But the thing is that if you were to just categorize them as groups and go down to the fundamental basics and not say it's and the groups weren't to say that our way is the true peace, and just to say, and you ask them, what do you want to teach? And they just say peace. Then you go, okay, well, that counts for group A, C, H, I, J, and so forth.
Yeah.
Meaning, essentially, not the whole thing, but essentially, religions are wanting to teach peace. And the thing is that Buddhism, to a certain extent, through meditation, through self-conflict, and through self-reflection, I personally think that you actually find peace a lot easier because you don't have anyone who's talking onto you. It's like the religion of flying spaghetti monster. It's not rules and it's not commandments. It's guidelines.
Yeah, exactly.
Because everyone has their own form and their own way of seeing peace. It's like what Plato said. You have the perfect image of a bed in your head. The perfect bed. But you can still recognize a bed wherever you go. Or you have the image of your perfect woman, but you still recognize that that about 50% of the world are still women. And that's not a scientific fact. That is the fact that she's got boobs and a vagina.
Yeah.
You don't even have to see them. You can see through the clothes. And it's just a really hard topic to talk about because we need a lot longer. But it is, to be honest. But the fundamental things of peace and loving thy neighbor, I'd say that the commandment loving thy neighbor is generally a thing that you should also have in society. But it's laws that then also constrict to a certain degree. It's like in the laws in Germany, in the fundamental laws, you've also got the freedom of religion. You exercise the religion that you want, but the thing is that you are still discriminated for it because people make up their minds before they hear the facts. It's like nowadays, or go back to when 9/11 happened and the World Trade Towers were destroyed.
Yeah.
If you were a Muslim then and you were flying, people would have booked a different flight just because you were brown.
Yeah.
Or just because you were wearing something that resembled something from an Oriental country.
Yeah, because they were fearful.
If there was an Indian on it and they would have seen a turban, they would have gone, oh, he might be one as well. I don't know because I've got my belief system.
Exactly.
And the thing is that it's the people say, oh, we've won against segregation and everything. Black and white lives matter, all the same. But religion is still also the biggest segregation that we have.
It is. You know what? This is the irony of it. The idea of religion is to bring everyone together in peace. But if there was an actual God, I would truly believe there would only be one religion. Why would God want multiple religions? Right now,
it's the freedom of choice that they then go back to.
Well,
this is the thing.
But it's the freedom of choice. But why would there be multiple gods if there was only one route to God? Why would there be different visions, different views of what ethics can be? Because there's clearly different ethics, given the different religion. One thing could be ethical in one religion, and another religion is not ethical at all, right?
Here's a nice comparison for you.
Yeah.
Have you ever played Chinese Whispers?
Yeah, imagine 2,000 years of Chinese whispers. This is why you have different religions.
The thing is that I think people say that the first religion that actually really was, if I am correct, I might not be, was Judaism. And it all kind of sprouted from there. But let's say it wasn't any particular religion, but one, in theory, this is the nice thing, in theory it could date back even to the Neanderthals. One guy was starving to death and his mum had died and he tried to bring her back to life. And he tried by praying and doing other various things that they did not know what were them. And people asked him, what are you doing? He said, oh, I see the spirits, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It could be a simple thing of a human product, so we don't feel empty and we feel that we have something to accomplish in life.
Yes.
The thing is that the human mind wants to have the feeling of something after all this struggle that we have.
Yeah.
Be it paying your rent, be it working, be it your girlfriend breaking up with you, like with me about 6 months ago, or be it that you're wanting to quit something. You want to have some form of reward at the end.
Yeah.
Because you don't just want to reward then, but you want to feel like all your life accomplishments have been something, have been worth something, and you want to be remembered.
Yeah.
And you also want to have this feeling that later on you can in theory then look down on your descendants and go, I am so happy the way that my life went. I was able to create life. I was able to give my children wisdom. I was able to help my friends overcome the problems that they had. I was able to finally bang that chick that I didn't talk to in the pub for 3 months and I only felt like stalking her. It's just
wow.
It's just at the end of life you just want to be able to be on your deathbed and feel accomplished. It's this. You've got also in Futurama, you've got the thing of you can ask a scientist says, I've got a baseball. Another scientist says, well, prove it. And he goes, here you go. And he shows him the baseball. He goes, oh, okay. And you go to a person who's religious, very, very religious. And he says, I've got a baseball. And you say, okay, prove it. And he says, well, you can't prove that I'm wrong, can you?
Yeah. Exactly, you can't prove I'm wrong. And it's the same way you, like, for example, let's say an agnostic, as they say, I don't believe in, I don't know. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I don't believe, but I might be wrong.
Yeah, I do
believe, but I might be wrong.
So, are you saying you equally believe in God as you equally believe in Santa Claus? Because there's the same amount of evidence for Santa Claus than there is God.
Yeah, this is what we actually wanted to talk about in fucking December. That would have been like the whole thing about that Santa Claus has actually been turned red because of Coca-Cola. It was actually green.
Yeah, this is what I. Do you know what I exactly. Honestly, Jesus, the next time, next Christmas, you see Jesus, he's gonna be red. He's gonna be Coca-Cola-fied. Coca-Cola-fied. That's going to be a new term in the dictionary. Yeah. Just everything turns red. Alright, thanks for listening to us today, guys. I hope you enjoyed our chat on atheism. It's certainly, as you can probably tell, it is a, we like to talk about atheism because we know we're right, lol. Anything else to end with, Philip?
Well, I've got a quote from Epicurus, if he says anything.
Cool.
This quote goes like this. If God is willing to prevent evil, but not able, then he is not omnipotent. If he is able, but not willing, then he is malevolent. If he is both able and willing, then whence cometh evil? If he is neither able nor willing, then why call him God?
Oh, fucking beef, man. Beef. Oh, you tell them. Yeah. Okay, again, thanks for listening, guys. We love making these videos. It's a bye from me and a bye from Philip.
Definitely.
Okay.
See you next time, guys.
See you guys. Bye.